Hello, hello, hello again. This is Purpose Over Problems, a podcast series where we work our way through emotional binds. I am Cedric. I hope you are wonderful. If not, let's get there. Coming to you from the Pop 4213 studios. Today, we're talking about breakups and how and where do we grow from here.
We gon' be alright, yeah. The sun's gonna shine bright, yeah. And we gon' live our best life, yeah. Every wrong, we gon' get it right, yeah, yeah. We gon' be alright, yeah. The sun's gonna shine bright, yeah. And we gon' live our best life, yeah. Every wrong, we gon' get it right, yeah, yeah. We gon' be alright.
We can't frame this conversation in good and bad, black and white. As the Roots crew would say, more specifically Black Thought, we all know that things fall apart and intentions shatter. I was talking to my wife not too long ago, and she was saying that unfortunately, we are or we will be the villain in somebody's story. And not too long after that, we watched this movie, The Eternal Sunshine in the Spotless Mind. She had seen it before, but this was my first time seeing it. Very interesting watch. Spoiler warning for you if you haven't seen it. But the basic premise was, what if there was a place to go to erase those painful memories and, those hardships from your mind? Would it be worth it? The conclusion I came to, and the conclusion that I think the director wanted the audience to arrive at, was no. There are lessons to glean even from the most unpleasant experiences. It's good for your emotional maturity. It's good for your emotional immunity, right? You live your whole life and you never get sick. That first cold comes along, you won't be able to survive because you never encountered anything to develop your immunity. Similar to emotions. We need those things to happen to us and to rock us and to realize we're still standing. There are still better days ahead. And sometimes two good people aren't good for each other. Other times, it just might not be the right time. It's going to be a reoccurring question I get to, especially when I start doing the interviews in this podcast series. But the question I'll pose is, what do you think are the cornerstones for raising little ones? For me, I have two. My answer would be integrity and accountability. You might say, Cedric, why is this relevant to this conversation? Well, at the end of relationships, it's very important to be accountable. Look at everything. Look at the good, look at the bad. Look at what was done. Look at what you may have done. Even if you say, hey, I didn't do anything. I wasn't the villain. I wasn't the wrongdoer. Still look at everything. I guarantee you there's something to learn from that situation. It's also important, I feel, afterwards to take time. Get to know yourself. Not only know yourself, make sure that you love yourself. You love being in your company. I commend my wife. She has no problem with taking herself on a date. Having a book and a AirPod in her ear. She's very comfortable being in her own company. What do you like? What don't you like? What makes you happy? Rushing into the next situation without clarity doesn't help anything. If anything, it complicates things. And we can't go running back trying to fix or repair. The worst man in the world can be the best father and the best husband. The worst woman in the world can be the best wife and the best mother. But this is when they come to the conclusion that they need to change and correct, or when God intervenes and changes them. We don't have the power within ourselves to influence or make anyone change. Sometimes my job is to plant seeds. And you know what? We may never see that idea come to fruition. We can still try, but at some point, you have to take care of yourself. Self-care is not being selfish, it's a necessity. They'll tell you when you're on planes or when you're on a ship, in the event of an emergency, you have to put yourself first. You don't take care of yourself, you don't put your mask on for oxygen, you don't put your life vest on. How are you going to help anybody else? Take care of yourself. And this is extremely important. Please stay away from toxicity in any form. Verbal or physical abuse will not get better. You must leave. You are worthy of more. You are deserving of more. There's better for you out there. And for the aggressors, if you feel that you're in a space where you're going to be triggered by an individual, that isn't the space for you to be in. Again, please leave. It's not good on anybody's behalf. And then remember, at the end of a relationship, it's just that, the end of that relationship, but it isn't the end of you. You know, I had an aunt who went through some very serious health issues, and I'll let her speak to that later on, hopefully in this podcast. But what she said to me, something very powerful. You don't know how good feels until you feel better. You don't know how good feels until you feel better. So what I'm saying to everybody listening to me, let's stop settling and being complacent for what we feel is good, and let's arrive at being better. Get in those comments, man. Let me know what I missed. Let me know what I got wrong. Let me know what else you might want to hear me speak about. I'm not perfect. I'm no expert. I can only speak from the perspective and the events that shaped my reality. And it might not apply to everybody, but as I was saying before, this is a community. It's a safe space. It's a conversation. So please get in those comments. Like, share, subscribe. I have been a villain. I have been a bad doer. But I have lived, I have learned, and I have paid it forward. And because of that, I became a better husband and a better father. Let's work through these problems and get to our purpose. Thank you.